Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to make a lemon Victoria sponge. So this is going to be hopefully a lovely sponge cake in 2 layers, as you would use for a traditional Victoria sponge. And in between those 2 layers is going to be some whipped cream and some lemon curd. I'm also going to put some lemon zest into the sponge cake to give that some extra flavour as well. It's not a difficult recipe, but it takes just that little bit of time, obviously. And we start off by preheating the oven to 180 degrees Celsius, 160 Celsius with a fan, 350 Fahrenheit. And I have greased and lined 2 8-inch round cake tins. So you can butter the cake tins and flour the inside and tap the excess flour out, and then put some parchment paper on the bottom. Now I'm using a spray which has flour in it, so I haven't had to flour that additionally. But I have 2 of those cake tins ready, and the oven is preheating. So we'll go on to the ingredients. And for this I have 4 medium eggs, which would be large in the USA. Now the weight of those 4 eggs in the shell is 225 grams. And that is useful because I can then use that weight for other ingredients. So I have 225 grams of flour, butter and sugar. And that's a fairly common method of making a Victoria sponge. So my 4 medium eggs, large in the USA. I have 225 grams, which is 1 cup of softened unsalted butter. 225 grams, 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of caster sugar, 225 grams, 1.5 cups based on scooping packed flour into a 250 milliliter cup of self-raising flour. That's flour which already has the baking powder as a raising agent in the flour. If you don't have that, you can use the same amount of plain flour, but you can add in between 2 and 3 teaspoons of baking powder and mix that through. I also have 5 milliliters, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract or vanilla bean paste, just for a little bit of flavour, and the zest from 2 lemons. And then to go in the middle of the cake, in the layers, I'm going to use 240 milliliters, 1 cup of double cream, and to go with that I have 25 grams, 2 tablespoons of caster sugar, and then I'm going to use 75 milliliters, which is 5 tablespoons of lemon curd. How much lemon curd you use really is up to you, but I'll use about 5 tablespoons. So that's all the ingredients, and the first thing we need to do is to mix the cake batter. And I'm going to make my cake batter in my stand mixer, but you can do it by hand if you want to, although it's quite a lot of work because you need to cream the butter and sugar quite a lot. Or you can use a hand mixer. But I'm going to start off by putting my lemon zest into my sugar, which is something I always like to do if I remember. And I'm going to rub that between my fingers, which is going to release oils. The coarseness of the sugar will help to release the oils from the lemon zest to give more flavour. And I'm only going to do it for a minute or so, just to get that little bit of flavour released. And that's going to be good enough, I think. So then what I need to do is to put the sugar and the butter into my stand mixer. So then I'll put the butter into the stand mixer, and the sugar as well. and then I will mix those together and cream them for a good few minutes, maybe 5 or 6 minutes, until they're nice and pale and fluffy. And I should say I will give my bowl a scrape down from time to time as well, just to make sure everything is incorporated. So with the sugar and butter pale and fluffy now, I'm going to add in my eggs, and I've broken those into a bowl and mixed them together, whisked them together a little bit. I'm just going to add them slowly with the mixer running the whole time until they're fully combined. So that's the eggs mixed in, and I'm also going to add in at this stage my vanilla extract or bean paste, and I'm going to give that a quick mix around as well. And that's good enough. So then it's time to put the flour in, and I'm going to fold that in. So I'm just going to dot the flour around. I'm going to just mix that until it's all combined. And I've got that mixed through reasonably well, so I'm going to put that into my 2 cake tins, and I'm going to try to divide that fairly evenly. And I like to do it by weighing the ingredients so that I have the same amount in both. So I've divided those evenly, and then I'm going to spread the batter over the bottom of the tin to make it level. And with the cake in the tins like that, I'm simply going to bake them. So I put them into the oven and I let them bake for between 25 and 30 minutes until they've risen up quite nicely and beginning to come away from the edge of the tin a little bit. And if I press the tops of them, they should be springy to the touch. And at that stage, I'll take them out of the oven and leave them for a couple of minutes in the tin. Then I'll take them out of the tin and put them onto a wire rack to cool. And once they've cooled down completely, I'll come back and we'll make the filling and assemble the cake. I baked the Victoria sponge cakes for 25 minutes and they rose quite nicely, and I pressed the centre and it was springy to the touch, so I took them out of the oven and left them in the tin for a couple of minutes. Then I put them onto a wire rack, so they're now nice and cool, and I'm ready to whip my cream and assemble the cakes. So this is what the sponge cakes look like, and I put one upside down on a plate and the other one is ready to go on the top. So I put my cream into a bowl and I'm going to add in my little bit of sugar, and I'm going to whisk that until it's nice and stiff. Shouldn't take very long. I think that looks as though it's quite stiff enough. Yes, that's good enough. So I'll set that to one side just for a moment. So I'm going to spread the lemon curd over the base, and as I mentioned, you can use as much or as little as you want, really. So just spread it roughly over the base. Just like that. And then I'm going to put my cream on. And gently pull that over to the sides as well. And then I'm going to put the cake, the other layer of cake, on the top and just press it like that. And what I'm going to do, you could put some icing sugar on the top, but I'm simply going to sprinkle a little bit of caster sugar on the top. Just like that. And that's all I'm going to do, basically. So then I'm actually going to put that into the fridge for a short while, just to chill the cream. And once the cream has chilled, I'll come back and I'll cut it and we'll have a taste. So I've chilled the lemon Victoria sponge just for about 30 minutes to chill the cream just a little bit. And I've cut a slice. So this is what it looks like now with the slice taken out. And I'll have a taste of this particular slice. Very, very good. The sponge is lovely and light and airy. And then you get the hit from the lemon both in the cake and in that tart lemon curd, and then that silky smooth cream as well. So this is actually quite an easy recipe, and it's a nice departure from the traditional Victoria sponge or Victoria sandwich, which is usually served just with a layer of raspberry jam. So that's going to be it for this recipe. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there'll be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well. And I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.